Today's learning is sponsored by Guy and Dvora Saban in memory of her grandfather, Yona ben Dov Zichrono Livracha. To dedicate a day of learning, go to mishnah.co/support or send me an email.
Okay, we're on Sanhedrin, Perek Bet, Mishnah Aleph. First Mishnah in the second chapter of Masechet Sanhedrin. We're now going to talk about the Kohen Gadol. We mentioned the Kohen Gadol in the last Perek, so it's a little unclear why this chapter is here, but it's here, so we're going to learn about it. So the Kohen Gadol has laws that are special or specific to him. So in the last Perek, we talked about Danimoto. He's judged only in the court of 23. But in that light, so we learned Kohen Gadol Dan Vidaninoto. He can be a judge, right? And he is judged. That he can be subject of being judged. We're going to see in contradistinction to a melech who is not judged. Me'id, he can testify. Me'idinoto, they testify about him as well. Choletz, if his brother dies without a child, he can do chalitza. V'chotzin le'ishto. They also do chalitza to his wife, meaning if he dies without children, his wife can have chalitza. Umyabmin et ishto. Even if his wife his brother, if he dies without children, can marry his wife and do yibum. Avalhu eno miyabin, but he can't do yibum, meaning if his brother dies without children, he can't do yibum. Mivnei asur ba'amana. A kohen is prohibited to marry an amana. How do we know all this? Is from Vayikra, Parakaf Aleph, chapter 21, which talks about the specialness of the kohen. And then there's a whole list of psukim. Kohen Gadol me'echav, the kohen who's bigger than his brothers, who pour out his head the anointing oil. Okay, et begadav lo yifrad et begad rosho lo yifrad begadav lo yifram. He can't let the hair of his head go loose, nor remain his clothes when he loses someone. I mean, he doesn't show outward signs of avelut. Ba'al kol nafshot meit lo yavo. He can't become tamei for any dead person, not even for his mother or his father. Umin hamikdash lo yetzeh. He can't leave the Beit Hamikdash in mourning. V'lo yichalel et mikdash elohav. And he cannot just desecrate the mikdash of his God. He can't desecrate the mikdash. So what does it mean? We're going to see it's a machloket when he loses someone. Meit lo meit. Someone dies, he can't follow the funeral procession. Ella, hein nichsin v'hu nigle. They go. It's like they go. Like he doesn't go right after the mita. Rather, hein nichsin, they become covered, meaning they go around a corner. V'hu nigle, and he reveals himself. He comes out. Hein niglin v'hu nichse. When they're out in the open, he has to cover himself. He has to be covered. V'yotzei imhem, but then he can go out with them ad petach ha'ir until the entrance of the city. Divrei Rabbi Meir. Why? Because Rabbi Meir says, let's see, it says, okay, he can go in, okay, once they're covered. If they're available, if they are seen in the mavoy, in the courtyard, he has to be covered. We're going to see in a second what the machloket is about. That's what Rabbi Meir said. Rabbi Yehuda says, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, he cannot leave the Beit Hamikdash at all. He can't go after the funeral procession, even if he's covered, even if he's not close. He's not allowed to leave the Beit Hamikdash. That's what we just saw. It says, Min Hamikdash lo yetzeh. He cannot leave the Beit Hamikdash. So we understand that position. We understand Rabbi Yehuda. How do we understand Rabbi Meir? Okay, so the Bartanura says, Rabbi Yehuda darish umin Hamikdash lo yetzeh kolikar. It says you can't leave at all. Rabbi Meir darish mikdushato lo yetzeh. Okay, he cannot leave mikdushato, his sanctity. He cannot be mechalel. He can't come to the place where he's going to touch the dead person. So that's the meaning of the word umina migdash. That's the meaning of the term umina migdash lo yetzeh. So that's the machloket in our Mishnah. What does it mean? If he wants to do nichum avelim, consult others. Derech kol ha'am ovrim bezeh achar zeh, v'hamumuneh mimatzo beino lebein ha'am. Okay, the derech kol ha'am ovrim. Everyone passes one after the other, passes by him, meaning the avel. Derech kol ha'am, everyone passes bezeh achar zeh, one by the other. They really go. This is we're used to this. To be menachem avelim. Hamumuneh mimatzo beino lebein ha'am. Memuneh, the appointed one, meaning his sgan Kohen Gadol, he mimatzo. He interrupts between the Kohen Gadol ubein ha'am and the people. Meaning everyone's walking, and you have the sgan Kohen Gadol and then the Kohen Gadol. So he's not directly next to the people. Okay, he's in the middle. Okay, shehu mitnachem. So and the Kahati says, okay, that the Mimuneh is between him, okay, and then the Kohen Gadol, and then the people who are walking by also. So he's like in front, but not next to the Avelim. Ukeshu mitnachem me'acharim, when everyone else consoles him, meaning he loses a relative. Kol ha'amrim amrim lo, anu kaparatcha. Everyone says, we are your kapara. Hu omer lahem, and he says to them, Titbaruchu min hashamayim. You should have a bracha. Mavrimoto. Mavrimoto means that when he has his su'udat havra'ah, when they do the final meal, okay, he can't eat his own meal, and Abba doesn't eat his own meal. That's the first meal is from other people, so it's called the su'udat havra'ah. Kol ha'am misubin ala aretz. So they all sit on the ground. Who may say ala safsal, and he sits, he leans on the bench, because even though normally an Abba has to sit on the ground, since it's a Kohen Gadol, he has to be above everyone else in order to give cover to the Kohen Gadol. We'll stop here and dedicate our learning to memory of my father, Harav Simcha B'Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.